Now that we've set everything up and the live stream's ready to go, we're going to begin working on Hazel 2D as usual. For those of you who don't know, still Monday nights around like 6:30ish p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time is basically Game Engine series time right here on Twitch. And it's actually linked in my schedule as well. So if you go to like my schedule on my Twitch channel, then you'll see it in your time zone. And I plan to try and be consistent with this time slot every single week. Which is gonna be a challenge, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. So wish me luck. Today, what we're doing actually. So obviously last time, if you have missed the last episode of the Game Engine series, you wanna see what we did, then if you go to my Cherno Unplugged channel, that is the new home of the Game Engine series on YouTube, then you will see what we did last time, which was basically adding like a physics simulation thing. So that we can actually like simulate physics in our scene. And the idea is I want to kind of go through all of this, make sure physics is more or less polished. Box 2D physics, of course, is what we've kind of been adding over the last few episodes and everything like that. So what we're going to do is kind of polish off the engine as much as we can, as well as also go through GitHub, which I'm planning to do today. Go through like all the GitHub pull requests and issues. I don't know if we'll get through all of them because there's like a lot, but we'll try it. And then once we've got the engine a little bit more, you know, up to date, just because it's been about 6 months, you know, there's been a 6-month break. Once we get it kind of up to speed and we see what's up, then we're going to begin on the next major project, which is going to be basically moving the whole engine code base from OpenGL to Vulkan. And we're also going to take that opportunity to basically restructure and re-architect a bunch of the core engine, because we're also going to make it like be multi-threaded. So that is basically where we're at, and that's what we'll be doing. Any questions? No? Let's begin. So before I kind of go through all of the GitHub like issues and pull requests and all that stuff, let's kind of launch stuff and we'll see what's going on. I don't know why everything's compiling again, because I literally have not opened this project since like last week. But apparently it needs to recompile. Oh, actually, I think I know why. It's probably because I updated my Visual Studio. Okay, so you can see we have the simulate button. We can load a scene like physics 2D, and then if we hit the simulate button, it simulates it, but we're still in like an editor camera mode where we can like move around, obviously. Whereas if we hit play, it's actually going to put us into like that camera. If you're wondering why it's acting weird, it's because we've just offset this collider. So it is in fact working correctly. Don't you worry. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, truth be told, like, I think this physics branch, we did have a roadmap. Hazel 2D roadmap. I don't actually know what the URL is. I think it's like hazelengine.com/ is it just /roadmap? Yeah, it is. hazelengine.com /roadmap, because we're still kind of treating Hazel 2D as the primary Hazel back then. So you can see that we do actually have some kind of structured thing that we're following. We've got the box 2D integration that's obviously done. The physics components we kind of did as well. We've done simulation as well. We've done visualizing colliders. So we're up to other. And other is like joints, constraints, and other stuff that box 2D supports. So this I'm going to kind of put on the back burner. I might actually, let me just add some labels. We can have like a done label, right? I can call this like done. Maybe this will be my done label. And then I might have like, I might make this my kind of in progress. Right. And this is just, whoa. What did I just click? I guess I can leave that, but that's a bit weird. I didn't really want to do that. What did I click? How did I do that? Oh, right. Ah. Okay, well, whatever. I don't actually know how I did that. Hey, Vulkan. I mean, Vulkan. I was going to say Studio Cherno's in chat. I just said Vulkan because I saw Peter's Vulkan week. It's just that sort of day, you know. Yeah, Tim's still in the office doing some art for a very top secret project that we can't reveal to anyone. Yeah.
I don't think I have. But it's not secret.
No, it's not secret from Peter. So anyway, so let's see. Oh, how did I do this? I don't want this like weird. Oh, that's colorblind friendly mode. Yeah, I thought it was something like that. Anyway, sorry. No, it sounds like I don't like colorblind people, but I do. It's fine. They're people too. Just stop talking. So this is done. How do I add the label? This is done. This is done. This is done. Look at that. We are flying through this engine. And then this is basically, I'm going to put this into the backlog, I think. So we're going to make orange be our kind of backlog color or something like that, right? So I'm going to put this entire thing into like the backlog because I don't really care about all this other stuff. I want to basically move into the next thing, but we're actually, again, we are circling back and we're going to do Vulkan, which is kind of like the engine re-architecture. So I don't know when we're going to start that, but that's basically going to be next. So this has gone into the backlog, and then and then Vulkan, obviously. Well, we'll need to do some planning probably for that, but that will be kind of the thing that we do next as we kind of go through. Did I have that up? Yeah, I did. As we kind of go through this other stuff. So anyway, so in other words, what that means is obviously that this kind of is considered complete, right? Physics. So we can merge that branch back in. So what we're going to do is we're going to merge the physics branch, which is where I committed to like last week, right? We're going to merge that into master. And also like there's probably been a bunch of stuff that's happened in master possibly since then. So I kind of want to like see what's up. So let's just open this up. Oh, I might need to do some stuff. Well, we'll see. We will see. What's it called? Series? No. 2D series physics. Okay, yeah, I found it. Don't worry, guys. I found the repository. Hey, okay, here we go. So this is the repository in Fork. Fork is, a lot of people ask me what like Git client I like to use. Fork is my favorite by far. So we've got the repository open over here. We've got basically no local changes apart from this ImGUI file, and I don't think that's actually a change. Yeah, it's not. Sometimes it just shows up as modified, but it's not. So if we take a look at this, if I just fetch everything here and we just take a look at all the branches, make sure they're all kind of up to date here, then we can see where we're at with Origin Master, Origin Dev as well, which it doesn't look like we merged that in, but I'm pretty sure we've got that stuff. Added circle rendering. See, that's on the physics branch, which is what this is. This possibly did not get merged in to physics, because again, this is on physics. This is also on physics. So you can. Oh, okay. It's because what the dev branch was. Really? How do you know that? Should we do something? All right. Anyway, so the dev branch. I've just remembered that the dev branch was basically back in the day when I decided to do stuff on live stream first and then make an episode out of it, and so that's why that was kind of on the physics branch. So I think the dev branch might as well be deleted, because I'm fairly sure that I'm fairly sure that everything that we would have done on the dev branch, we then later made an episode out of and implemented into the physics branch. So that's why it looks like this stuff has been kind of duplicated. However, this is a pull request that's been merged, which is weird, because why would I have done that? But anyway, it's pretty easy to see what this was. So I guess this introduced like component group and all component. Yeah, I can't remember that. So if we just take a look at the code base quickly, then let's see if we've got that. No, we don't. I don't think we do. All components, that's not a thing. So yeah, we'll have to probably put that in. So let's just kind of keep that in mind. So there's that, and then there's also going to be, looks like there's another change that we don't have in physics, which is just, yeah, just quaternio to quaternion. Okay, sure. Just a very minor change there. All right. And yeah, that's probably it. So how should we tackle this? Well, this we can just cherry pick, because I'm probably going to delete the dev branch. And then we probably could also just do a merge. This is all very easy to do. Like I say, we probably just merge physics into master, and then cherry pick this, because I don't think that's in master either. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So let's delete, let's just revert this first. Let's check out master. Usually for more complicated merges, I may, like if there's actually merging required, usually I like merging from master into the branch that I'm working on, then fix the issues, you know, get everything working, and then merge back into master. So that way, obviously, you can have the non-working state in your branch or whatever if you need to. That's obviously for bigger mergers. And then that way, obviously, you don't have to kind of sometimes merge off of master again, which is like the merging into master branch, which is dumb. So I don't like doing that. But in this case, obviously, everything compiles and we're basically, the divergence is like nothing. So it's literally this. So it's absolutely fine to do it this way. So let's go ahead and merge. We'll merge into master, which again should just be like a fast forward here. Everything should be basically done. It's made a commit out of that. And then we're also going to probably, well, that's already made a commit out of it, which is, so it's done actually. But then what we could do is we could cherry pick just this commit, because I don't think it's got it, but we can double check. I think I checked it out, right? Yeah, I would have it checked out. So let's just cherry pick the commit. Yeah. Okay. Oh, as if we got a why? Oh, because we added circle collider. Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay, let's just resolve this conflict quickly. So obviously this stuff needs to go here, and then we also need to merge this. We'll have to go back and add the circle component into that all components list as well. Oh man, why are there so many changes here? I thought this was why are these so, I did not know there was so much divergence between these two. That's very weird. Copy component. Okay, so copy, oh right, okay, well yeah, because of that pull request. So the copy component would have changed. Yeah, that's probably okay, I think. Then we've got more. Yes, that's the new one. Okay, so that should be working. But before we commit it and stuff, let's just go ahead and actually add. So the idea is this list has to have all components. So we'll kind of just make sure that we have Circle Collider 2D in there. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just quickly why is it collapsing it so weirdly? What? No, that just collapses functions, not right, okay. Circle renderer, script, blah, 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 blah. Native script component, rigid body box, collider 2D. I think that's all of them, yeah. Yep. No, there's a circle renderer component, isn't there? Yeah, that's what we missed. That's what looked weird about it. I guess we'll do 2 per. No, let's just do 3. Okay, there we go. All right, I do read chat. What's chat saying? Probably better than Source 3. Yeah, I do like it more. Also, Peter, I'm told it's your birthday today. Is this factual information? Because if so, I think a happy birthday song is in order from the Hazel team, or from Studio Cherno. That's correct. All right, Tim. Let's sing happy birthday to Peter. All right. So this is what happens whenever Studio Cherno has a birthday. I thought that was super out of tune, but it's not.
It's not?
No, it's because I played it one fret. Thing off. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, let's start again because that's Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter. Happy birthday to you.
Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Woo! Happy birthday, Peter.
Happy birthday, Peter. All right, dismissed.
Okay, can we not do that for my birthday? Not?
Why not?
I don't celebrate my birthday.
Well, it's in your...
Yeah,
Too bad.
A week in advance of when you know I'm sick for a week around my birthday.
Nah. All right. So where did we where did we stop? Almost feels like a shame to return back to the game industries after this. I gotta put the music back on. Okay, so this merge should basically be done now. I have no idea if the stuff in the scene that changed actually works and stuff. Hey, Andreas, thank you for the Prime subscription. Appreciate it. So there was the copy component thing that changed, obviously, and there's some other stuff that changed, but I think, obviously, like that stuff should be okay, because just what it does now, in case people weren't aware, and they care for some reason, I really don't like code like this. This is like a little inline lambda that gets immediately called, and then... But basically, this will just go through everything, and obviously, everything in that list that we had there, because it gets expanded per component. And where does that happen? Yeah, so that will go through that component list, which is where exactly? So copy component gets called... here. So this stuff also doesn't need to exist anymore, I think. Duplicate entity just wasn't around. So like if we look at copy scene, that's probably a good idea. You can see what it does is it calls copy component with that all components component group kind of struct thing, which just has a variable amount of template arguments. And then when that gets called with that, it, as you can see, gets expanded, right? Which in turn will kind of call each copy component with whatever its component actually is, which is what this is here, right? And then obviously we'll just kind of expand into that and then call this code however many times well, for each component, okay? So that's how it works. Now, what that means though is obviously we can just call copy component. So instead of doing this here, we can just steal. Well, yeah, we can just do this. Oh, this actually already exists. Never mind. We'll just get rid of that duplicate function then. Should have just built. But yeah, this is what I was going to do. Just call that with that. Okay, so that all compiles. So obviously let's run the code. So just as a quick little note, this is like proper merge etiquette. What we want to do is once we do a merge like this, even though this was quote unquote a trivial merge, it still required some kind of manual conflict resolution for some reason. But anyway, once we've done that, we obviously want to build everything, you know, make sure it builds. That's like step one. No, that's interesting. The project files get regenerated as part of a build step. Then we also build debug, right? So make sure you build all the configurations. We don't want to just build, you know, yeah, so see, this isn't even built. That's because of this though. Oh, didn't we want to update Vulkan for that? Or did we need to update Vulkan for that? So, yeah, because what's happening there is it's still trying to link to probably the wrong... Oh, is that because we're back in master? But didn't I change that script? I thought I changed that script. Anyway, the point is, it's supposed to just use the debug loops from the Vulkan SDK that we already have, instead of requiring something else. But you can see that the required Vulkan version is also incorrect. So I don't even know what to do here. That's kind of annoying. We can't really build debug, but it's okay. I think we'll finish this merge. So obviously this is the extra stuff that I had to do there. We'll say that we... so that obviously was merging physics. This will say... cherry picked, well, yeah, sure. That. And we'll push that, right? So now what we should have here is master, you can see has now been updated, and we're all good to go, hopefully. With that, we can now actually delete dev and physics. But as for building debug, this is probably a good chance to also go through here and fix this stuff. So at the moment, again, required Vulkan version, it does say is 1.2.17. Obviously, that's not really correct. And in fact, I would go as far as to say there's no such thing as a required Vulkan version. It's just we have Vulkan SDK. I've actually got these installed on my computer. So we do actually have that one as well, but that's actually not going to be the one that it uses, because it's going to look up the environment variable, the Vulkan SDK environment variable, as you can see right over here, to actually get the correct version. Well, to find the Vulkan SDK root. So obviously that means that it doesn't really need that one. It's actually going to check that version, I think, or whatever, and just to see if we've got the right one, because you can see here as well, what's this, CLS required Vulkan, yeah, not in Vulkan SDK. So it's going to basically see if this string is inside the path, and if that string is not inside the path, it's going to tell us that we don't have the correct version. Not really correct, right? Because we don't really, like, the reason this existed is because, hey, Go Massa, thank you for the Prime subscription. Thanks for the support. The reason why this was a thing, like in the beginning, kind of, was because, like, for Big Hazel, like when we started using Vulkan, it was somewhat like we wanted to make sure that we were on the same page as to what Vulkan SDK we were using, obviously, because that way, if you build with a particular version of the Vulkan SDK, if there are bugs, you know, or if there are other missing features or whatever, you know, you can obviously predictably have like a version that builds. And so that's not really that big of a deal though for the, you know, for Hazel 2D, I don't think. So we could just say that we need at least a certain version, you know, and then it doesn't matter which one you have. But the reason why, again, I like 1.3 is because 1.3 has the option of installing the debug libraries along with that. Like the Vulkan installer will install that for you, whereas like traditionally that you used to have to download like a zip file of them, and we had like the Premake, I think, do that. That's actually what happens here. So check Vulkan SDK debug libs will actually go through and download, as you can see, those debug libraries, and then it will like unzip them and stuff, which is what happens here. So none of that needs to be done anymore. We can literally get rid of this. It's just important to make sure that, yeah, sure, like you install the Vulkan SDK, you install it properly as specified in the actual docs. So if we go to docs.hazelengine.com as a thing, oh, that's not the default thing. Anyway, if we go to like getting started, you can see that even though this is for Hazel 3D, it's the same kind of situation with Vulkan, where if you have a particular version of the Vulkan SDK, you can have the option to have these kind of debuggable shaders here, which is pretty good. So that makes it very, very easy to just not worry about debug libraries. And then obviously we need those debug versions of the libraries to build like a debug configuration. So that's the idea. Will you be using Vulkan HPP or just CAPI? Just a CAPI. I'd see absolutely no need for Vulkan HPP, to be honest. Especially because at the end of the day, you're kind of writing your own abstractions over all this as well. So yeah, I don't really much care for it. Okay, so yeah, so this stuff is okay. I'll leave this stuff as is. I think I just will literally kind of look at like the only reason why this would be annoying to people, I think, is like the way that it's currently set up is obviously like if you have like, let's just say several versions of the Vulkan SDK installed, and a new version comes out maybe, and you decide I'm going to install the new version because I'm working on my own like, you know, applications or whatever, and they're using like a particular version of the Vulkan SDK. Then if you are using like the latest, let's just say Vulkan SDK, because you've upgraded to it, you've installed it, your environment variable obviously points to it, and then Hazel comes along, and then Hazel's like, oh no, we require, you know, the one before it. So for example, let's just say we require 204.0, which I think was taken down because it actually contained a pretty bad bug, but and it was replaced with .1. But let's just say you had both of these and it was just a minor upgrade for whatever reason, then suddenly it's like, oh, you have to change your thing, or you have to go into Hazel scripts and reconfigure stuff. And there is actually a newer version, as I can see now. There's several newer versions. So since kind of that, there's also, you can see 14th of June, which is like a week ago, this was released to like 216, then 211 was released in April. Like, this stuff obviously gets updated. So it kind of makes sense, obviously, to not require a particular version. It makes sense to require like at least like some version. And I think the version that we require, or like have a minimum version is what I mean, is probably going to be this one essentially, because that's like the only one that's kind of approved, I think, and stable for 1.3. And the reason why I want 1.3 is because, again, 1.3 introduces those debug libraries. So I think it's fair to say we want 1.3, and that's minimum. Again, that doesn't mean you need a 1.3 compatible GPU, right? It doesn't mean your GPU drivers have to be 1.3. That's different. It just means, and especially for us, we don't even have Vulkan really in Hazel 2D at the moment. We're still only using the Vulkan SDK to compile shaders into SPIR-V, right? So in other words, don't even worry about this yet if you're following the Game Engine series and you're worried about Vulkan versions and GPU driver support or whatever. At the moment, it's okay. But when it does become a thing, we can still obviously require like a Vulkan 1.1 or 1.2 like compatible kind of GPU driver if we're making our application with 1.3. So for example, like when we made the Ludum Dare game Forest, we shipped that with Vulkan 1.2 requirement. Like, you need your GPU drivers for 1.2. However, we built that with the 1.3 SDK, right? And that's what we shipped. So so it's okay, not a problem. Now, that being said, if that is the version we require, it's obviously going to obtain that. This Vulkan directory does not need to exist. That's actually where it puts the installer. So this is kind of like the temp location at the moment. But yeah, like ultimately what I want to do is I want to see if there's a version that is like, if you have a version that is at least this or newer, then you're fine. Whereas at the moment, it's going to specifically require this version. So that's a little bit annoying. Do we bother fixing this now? I guess we probably should. But then again, maybe that would make more sense to fix when we actually roll around into doing Vulkan properly, right? I don't know. But the way we would do that, I guess, is you probably have to, like, how would we do that? We need to write some code to check the version and see if we've got a higher one, I guess. So at least 1.3. So if the major version, like, we can break it up into like 4 different version things, split it by the dot or something. I don't know if there's Python functions that do this a little bit easier. But I guess you need to split all these in the dot and then compare each one and make sure that they're obviously above a certain version. But yeah, what I'm going to do instead for now is basically I'm just going to say that with the required version, instead of checking to see if it's not, let's start Python string starts with. I'm just going to make sure that oh no, actually what we can do probably is just do required version 1.3 like that, right? Because 1.3 dot, so dot, if we have 1.3 dot, then that string obviously should be in here if we have the correct version, right? And then I've got the second dot in there just in case there's like a 1.1.3 or something in there. So that I think should be okay. Like, this should be fine. So we can actually probably see now. Again, this has been removed because debug libraries. I wish I didn't remove that actually. Let's go back into fork. The reason is we still need to check debug libraries for debug config, but that's not something that we have to. Let's we'll discard that change. So we'll go back to this. So yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna still check for this. However, we're gonna check this in the Vulkan in here, right? So there is no Vulkan directory anymore, hopefully. Oh no, that's the one that we download the temporary stuff to. So this goes into here. And then we can probably still do lib. So that brings us into here. Then we do lib, and then obviously we can see like shader C. What was it called? Shader C. Yeah, and then if we've got the debug one with the extra D on the end, then we're okay. Now, we don't download it anymore, and if it doesn't exist, then what we can do, we'll just print like a message, I guess. And then like we could do a couple of things. We could just print a message, really, because it's still okay to not have them. You just won't be able to build debug, which might be okay. So if you're trying to build release, then maybe, you know, why would we get people to install the debug libraries if they don't want them? So because of that, I think we can probably just print some text that says like, you know, no Vulkan SDK debug libs found. Please install. We could say debug configuration disabled or something. I might do that here. engine.com/getting started for more info. Okay. Let's make sure that URL works. Yep. Okay, so I don't know why there's a new line there, but sure. Maybe that's okay. All right. Yeah, so it's gonna check specifically for shed for that one. All right, well, let's see what we've made. Let's see if this works. So let's just run setup. Okay, so is it set up at this? Python. Inconsistent use of tabs and spaces. What? Where did I use that? Edit advanced. View white space. It should just convert tabs to spaces if that's the deal. But whatever. What's your problem? Local variable shed seed. What is that? Oh, this reference before. Yeah, that's funny. So what's the deal with that? What was it supposed to be? And why is that already here? Oh, that's what I... Oh, yeah. Whoops, I meant that. Never mind. Okay, so located Vulkan SDK, code Vulkan SDK, updated. So it didn't complain about the Vulkan SDK. So that only happens if it doesn't find them. Oh, and it actually prints it here if it's not, which isn't going to happen because we do it here. So why don't we just return? I guess we can just return that, right? And then let's cut that out. And then let's do that here, right? Okay, let's rerun that. So this, again, this should work at the moment. And it looks like it does work. So the next thing that we're gonna do is obviously simulate it not working. So we'll rename this to like shared one or something. And then, oops, we'll run that. Okay, now you can see it says no Vulkan SDK debug libs found. Install Vulkan SDK with debug libraries. See that for getting started. Debug configuration disabled. All right, so the debug configuration isn't actually disabled. It just won't actually build. So that'll be good enough for now. But let's maybe... I might just do this. Oh, there's that tabbing again. Just want to make it look a bit prettier. All about aesthetic. All right. Okay, that's good. So now let's go back here, undo that change, and now if we run setup again, we should be okay. All right, so now the reason why I've done this is now we actually should be able to build debug because I do have those libraries, obviously. So this is just us fixing that. Okay, you're upset because you can't open that. Yeah, so again, it's looking for that. I thought I regenerated the... So that must be just pre-make. So if we go back over here, we open up pre-make. Then let's take a look at what it's actually trying to do for, I guess, Hazel. So inside Hazel, we have a pre-make 5.lua, and that's obviously going to link against like the Vulkan debug libraries. So library, all these library definitions, which again, I have no idea where they actually are. Oh, dependencies, okay. So the only difference is that these debug things used to be in Vulkan SDK debug, which was, as you can see, Hazel vendor Vulkan SDK lib. But now, yeah, it's basically the same as this. So I could make it just be equal to like this, or I could just take out the debug. I think I'll just take out the debug, to be honest. And this debug DLL as well, Vulkan SDK bin apparently. So that's obviously going to be in the normal Vulkan SDK, not in our local copy. So let's just do that. We'll just basically scrap all of these debug configuration, the debug things. And then there was that bin thing that I think it tried to copy probably. That may actually happen inside Hazelnut. Let's see, Hazelnut pre-make. Yeah, debug DLL. So that's a library directory. So what? It tried to copy the entire bin thing? Are you serious? That's like a lot of stuff. Or was that just like, why does it even need that? That's very odd. I don't know. I didn't add this. See, this is the thing. When the community starts doing stuff, it's a bit weird. I don't know what this is. Like, what are we copying here? I'm assuming it's like some... Oh, it's probably like the DLLs that we have here. It's just we used to have a different... Can we still see the ones we had? I don't know if we can. If I go to a secret place on my computer that I can't show you because it's got very, very secret stuff, then I might be able to see what's up. This is just an older copy. That doesn't have the Vulkan SDK either. Okay, whatever. I don't care. We'll see, because it'll come up with an error when we won't be able to run this stuff. All right. So back to here. Scripts. We'll run generate projects again. Reload. Build Hazelnut. Okay, so it's linked against that, and then finally copy hasn't worked. And what's it trying to copy? Trying to copy Hazelnut stuff. That's some kind of post build command. For what? For probably for Hazelnut, which is this. Yeah, so it's still doing this. Okay, never mind. So we'll get rid of that for now. Just because I don't want it. Build. Okay, that's succeeded. Let's run it. Let's see what we get. Well, this runs, bro. So if this runs, then like, why do we need DLLs to be copied, huh? You tell me. All right, so let's delete bin. So we're basically kind of doing a clean here. I'll actually clean the solution again as well. Control Shift B. Why are you still doing stuff, bro? So what is that? What is that? 8. 8 is what? Oh, Hazel. Alright, so I think Hazel also has a post-build step? No. Well then why? We shouldn't have any post-build commands, should we? That's a bit weird. That's very weird. Why? What is that? That's obviously a post build command, but I kind of got rid of that. Oh, sandbox. Yeah, that's because I did Control-Shift-B and it built Sandbox. Sorry, I thought that was Hazel, it was Sandbox. So Sandbox also has this, and it also has this, which I'm nuking. We'll see though. I might unnuke it in a minute when I realize what it does. But at the moment, I just want to kind of a clean slate. All right, so let's run Hazelnut. Yeah, see, it works, man. So definitely doesn't need it. And then Sandbox. I don't know if Sandbox will actually run. Whoa. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Damn. All right. Well, Sandbox doesn't work, but that's okay. Hazelnut works. So. Permanently changed my color. Sandbox obviously works with everything, and that is pretty much all I care about. I mean, Hazelnut works, and that means that obviously we don't need this post-build copy step, whatever that used to do. So now that we've done that, let's do a quick little cheeky commit. So changed Vulkan SDK, change required Vulkan SDK version to 1.3. And removed local debug libs. Also removed old post build copy command from pre-make scripts. Commit and push. Look at that, doing work. Doing work. All right. So what do we do now? The question is, I think we're basically finally at the point now where I'm happy with everything, and we can look at you guys. We can look at the community and see what's up. So what are we, like 40 minutes into this episode? We'll keep going for a bit. I'm probably gonna stream for like another half an hour or so. Let's begin kind of going through these issues or pull requests. What do you guys think? Should we go through the issues first or the pull requests first? I don't know what to do. The issues are more or less people probably complaining about stuff, whereas pull requests obviously are actual code that people have changed, and there's quite a lot. So we probably should go through the pull requests and see if maybe there are relevant issues that it fixes. The thing is though, I'm obviously extremely like, I don't know. I'm very like neutral about going through all this stuff, just because in my mind, so much stuff is going to change, right? Like meaning that like as we begin this Vulkan, refactor / redesign of the whole engine, obviously a lot of this stuff is almost going to be like, even if we do merge it in now, like I don't know if it'll be necessarily that useful. That being said, obviously there is so much more to the engine than just like the core kind of application architecture and the renderer. So because of that, like, some of this stuff, like for example, maybe repeat count or like for key pressed events, that stuff's not going to change. So therefore a lot of these will be relevant. Now, unfortunately though, as you can probably see, some of these are from 2019. Now, lovely Santa, who's been helping out with like the community kind of side of Hazel 2D, he has been merging stuff in. That's why there's 267 closed pull requests, right? That stuff is good. But obviously this is the stuff that I guess he either wasn't sure about, or maybe the scope was too large, or whatever, right? So these are not the trivial ones. So we've already kind of boiled it down to the non-trivial ones. So yeah, I mean, ideally, obviously, like we've cleaned up the rest of the engine. I would like to see like basically 0 pull requests here, right? And 0 issues. I mean, not that that's probably going to happen, because people will open more, and also some of them are going to be relevant and are going to be longer term things. But still, like it would be nice, obviously, to have this be cleaned up before we embark on this next kind of chapter of the engine. So let's kind of begin with, I guess, the first one, the oldest one here, which is Linux support. Yeah, I have absolutely no feelings about this whatsoever. Again, because everything is changing. Like at the moment, I kind of went through this in the planning episodes and stuff. I don't care about other platforms at the moment. We're kind of Windows only for the time being. Again, when I say I don't care about other platforms, that's not strictly true, because in my mind, I am thinking about the fact that we will have we will have more platforms in the future. So because of that, I'm deliberately designing things in a way that it would be possible, obviously, to add more platforms without entirely ripping apart the engine. But what I mean is anything to do with Linux or whatever, like that's cool, but I'm definitely not going to take the burden of doing anything to do with that right now at all. So this might as well not exist. I'm going to leave it open just because it's very active, obviously. And it does say up to date. And this is the worst thing. Never put up to date in the title, because what the heck does that mean? Like, as of when is it up to date? Like, that's a bit ridiculous. So it looks like it's from November, but November 2020, actually, right? Is that what I read correctly? Yeah, so not even November last year. November the year before. So I don't think it's up to date. But anyway, it doesn't matter, because we're going to switch from OpenGL to Vulkan. That's a major change as well. There's a lot of work is going to need to change. So this, I don't know, maybe this should be closed, but I'll leave it open for now. Okay, implemented the repeat count for key pressed events by Puddle Stomper. Do we really not have key count for repeat events? Let's just look at the code. Ooh, no. This is not good. Why? Why is this here? What? Why? Oh, I see. I don't think we should have a repeat count. I think the repeat count should probably fall on the client. So, let me get rid of this white space. So what happens at the moment? We have a repeat count, which is kind of like, I don't know why exactly I wrote it this way, to be completely honest with you guys. But if we have a repeat event, I think we can just say that, hey, bro, it's a repeat event versus the fact that it's not a repeat event. That's all. I actually really want to just quickly see if Big Boy Hazel, how Hazel treats this. Because I'm not 100% sure. So let's go to the master clean. Let's open up Hazel. And we'll see, because I'm not sure, but I imagine that just having it as like, is this a repeat event? Yes, that's enough. And then obviously if client side, you want to know how many times for some reason that event has been fired, then just increment a counter yourself. I think that's definitely fair to say. So, where are all of these events? Key event. We do have a repeat count here as well, actually. It's an int, not an int16 though. And then we just have one there. Well, yeah, it basically acts like a boolean. I can kind of see where this person's coming from, obviously, because it does say repeat count. So I think, let's just make this like, is repeat. And then obviously that will kind of, you know, that will be your, is this a repeat event? So we're just kind of changing this a bit. And then I can add like some kind of, so bool is repeat. I guess we can, yeah, that would be set regardless, is repeat false. By default, oh, key event, no. I don't know why I did that. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, that's a true, that's a false. Yeah, make sure that compiles. Yeah, and see, like, obviously the way we kind of test it is like this anyway. So if it's a repeat, for example, then we'll just do that. So it actually kind of makes stuff a bit cleaner as well. I'll do a quick search just to be nice. I'll do a quick search to see if anyone else has said anything about repeats. Yeah, so there's what's this? The repeat will never be invoked. Really? I'm pretty sure it is invoked. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's do it. We can do a quick little test though. If we just do HZ1. Like that should... If I just hold a key down, we should see... This is still... My gosh, go away. Redness. I think if you subscribed and you still got an ad, you should just reload the Twitch page. I think. Unless they have new premium ads or whatever. Bit weird. Twitch is falling apart. Alright, so... Yeah, so that works, obviously. So we have false the first time, and then is repeat true the other times. So yes, that is in fact working. So therefore this person, I think, is wrong. Removes needless should repeat. I still don't understand why is that needless? Oh, it's in a different place, I think. Oh, because I see. Okay, that's not what I thought it was. So this apparently isn't needed because is key pressed, because repeat will never happen. Really? So what, this will always be press? Or is it just going to be both? Because it could be both. The key was held down until it repeated. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Let's do a little test. Let's just do input is key pressed. Key code is, how does this work? How do these key codes work? Oh, it's like all key. People are key, I think. Okay, so let's just say spacebar, right? So at the moment, obviously, it's does pressed or that. So yeah, it's gonna be true or whatever. But what about repeat? Well, yeah. I think that already. Okay, so it's never gonna be. I mean, that's coming in actually, but so it'll never be repeat. Why is it not repeat? Is that just not what state returns? Oh, okay. So it only returns press or release. And a repeat is only reported in the callback. Okay, well, yes. Then that is obviously a fair enough thing. So I'll merge that pull request in. Okay, good. So yes, I'm glad we checked for that, I guess. We'll merge that one in a second. That's nice, merging in something in from like a year and a half ago. That's funny. Finally going through and doing stuff. Let's revert that. Let's revert that. Let's revert that. Okay, so this though, to address this PR, which was 142, I think. Changed key pressed event repeat count to address PR. PR is repeat. What was it? 142. 142. Actual key repeat count falls onto caller. Martin, thank you for your subscription. Appreciate the support. Hey, just got recommended your stream on my Twitch page. Thanks for all the lessons you make. They've helped me a lot. No worries, Logan McDougall. Glad that you've enjoyed my videos. All right. That's my 5 seconds with chat. Let's move on. So, blah, blah, blah. Let's commit and push that. Now, we should be able to merge this without a problem, so we'll just do that as well. No, sorry, not this one. This one. 406. Dude. Tim, did your internet just disappear?
Huh?
Did your internet just disappear?
Yeah.
Sick!
Nice. Stream.
Well, actually, I'm recording as well, so Game Engine series on YouTube still going strong. That's unfortunate. Hey, I think we're live again. All right, back. Yeah, sorry, the internet just went down in the office, but I switched the routers off and on again, and of course it fixed it. So we're back. Tim doubted me. Tim was like, "Nah, man, restarting the router probably isn't gonna fix it."
I've never said that.
You implied it.
No. I just asked if you had a
DDoS.
phone.
No, I don't think we got DDoSed. How would we get DDoSed? I didn't share my IP address, did I? Tim, have you been tweeting our IP address?
On a daily basis.
I told you not to. That's not true either. All right. It says my stream's unstable though. Maybe that's
Twitch doesn't trust you anymore after that.
Yeah,
number.
basically. Oh, look, it still says that it's offline. All right, we're back. So that's good. Let's finish. Let's finish the episode quickly. So basically, I was just saying that we can just merge this in, and there shouldn't be any conflicts. It's like a one-line change, even if it is a year and a half old. So we're just going to quick the squash and merge. What, squash? How is this? It's like a one-line change. There's only one commit. Yeah, I guess it's still a squash. Squash. Removed unnecessary. I always rewrite your guys' like commit messages just because they're so like different to what I would. Let's just say different. They're so different to what I would. Tim's like face farming. Let's just say different to what I would write. What even was the change? Oh, it's this press thing. Yes. Removed unnecessary. Removed unnecessary. Check in. Input key pressed. And then I'll have 406. All right. Oh, the music stopped as well. Just pick it up from here. Alright. So that's been merged, which is pretty exciting. Look at this, gone down. 64 left. I don't remember how many we had at the beginning, but that's cool. Implemented repeat. Yeah, so this we can now close. And I can probably say that where are my commits? What? Where's my commit? Oh, did it not make it? Oh, it must not have. The push must not have gone. Great. Now it's gonna be like a merge or something. I hate that. Yeah. I hate that. It's so annoying. Git sucks. This is it. So can I just copy that? Why is it so hard to just copy the SHA? Just because I want to reference it. Okay, next up. Remove profile result JSON files from version control. Is that really in version control? This stuff. Why is this stuff there? Oh man, no. What's this doing? Yeah. Oh man. What the heck? Why is this doing this stuff? No. So no. Okay. Yeah, so first of all, like the whole profiling thing is very, like, this is not, I don't think we're gonna do things this way. Cause that's a bit weird. Is the stream still up, guys? Or is it struggling? I think we're still up, right? Yeah, it almost crashed apparently. Well, whatever. It just restarted again. Ugh. Alright, well if it happens one more time we'll end it for tonight. It's clearly not our day. Yeah, I think that these weird profile things, like I think we probably want to revisit profiling, because again, at the moment I'm pretty sure the way that it works, if we just look up profile something, clearly not at all what I meant. Let's just do Hazel profile. Yeah, so this stuff is all using the instrumenta thing that I wrote using JSON. Like this is obsolete. Like we're going to be probably switching to like Optic, like Hazel 3D uses. So, oh whoa, I commented on this. Well, yeah, because this is from 2019, so of course I don't remember this. I'll just say closed obsolete. Goodbye. Okay, a few more. This is gonna take ages though, going through all these. Add key mapping. What's this? Add key mapping. What? No. SCD variant. Yeah, this stuff, I don't really want to do anything like this here. I mean, I get that it's kind of like, maybe if it's integrated within like your native scripting situation, right? Because we kind of only have that at the moment, then yeah, sure, like maybe it makes sense to have this kind of infrastructure in the actual core engine, but otherwise like input event, like input names are that's such a high level concept that I don't think it should be anywhere near the engine, basically. You know, like I mean obviously like to an extent maybe neither should this stuff. This is more like script stuff, but still, like I definitely don't want to have anything like this at all. Yeah, not that this is like too bad from a code point of view. It's just that I just don't think it fits in to like the engine at this stage and literally in this place, because like yeah, I don't really want to do this. But like, you know, it's I guess having something like this in general, having a discussion about this probably isn't too bad. It is from 2019 though. But yeah, I don't know. And again, like because this is something that we probably want to have inside C# eventually, it's not going to fit in exactly like this, and we're definitely not going to like transition to C++ to do this stuff and then all that stuff. So I don't know, that's kind of not really liking that too much. So we'll see. Make camera's translation speed relative to the zoom level. See, the problem is, like, 2019, right? I mean, this is probably just going to get marked as obsolete, but this is like, we don't use this stuff anymore, you know? And actually, same with this as well, orthographic camera control. Like, this is back when we had, like, I don't know what we were doing in 2019. Like, around the time this, like, when was this stuff? Like, let me see if I can find this. Like, this is like, this stuff happened around December 2019, right? So if we look at the game engine, like, playlist, let me just try and find 2018. Oh wow, yeah, it started in 2018. What did I do in 2019? It's 2020. I'm trying to find like December. Okay, I'm close. So that's like around profiling, improving our 2D rendering API. Oh right, so that's around the time that I actually made the 1 hour game. So this, technically speaking, this was 2019. I'm trying to find a nice version of Hazel running. Yeah, this was Hazel in 2019. Like, obviously this orthographic camera controller is completely obsolete. So, yeah. And like, again, to an extent, so is the other stuff. Added random utility. Added line feature. Okay, so this person has added, I guess, a random number generator. Hey, Alex, thank you for the Prime subscription. Thanks for support. Yeah, this is already weird. Damn. Nah. See, the other thing is, guys, like, it's also a little bit hard for me to like accept pull requests and deal with this kind of stuff because it's not even necessarily that sometimes your code is bad, right? It's just that, like, obviously, if I am making a game engine series out of this, then this isn't about having a software product necessarily. It's about having an educational series. And so, for example, when it comes time to talk about random number generators, I need to also kind of, you know, make a video about that and probably implement it myself. You know, it's kind of like if I'm just merging in pull requests of all these features in, that's not the same as me making a game engine series, right? So that's why, like, when I see stuff like this, it's like, well, I don't really want to merge this in, but also, like, you know, this is a bit too much. Like, why is this templated? Returns a random real, right? So real, I'm assuming it's templated because you probably want it to be either double or float. But, like, bro, this is also stuff that I really don't like because just make two functions. Just say random, like, double, random float or whatever, and you're done. Like, you don't need to do this real stuff and then have, like, std, like, enable if, like, std is floating point. Like, why? Why have any of this? Like, why can't we just keep stuff simple? Like, there's no reason to make it complicated. Like, look at this. Are you high? Okay, I'm probably getting too roasty here. But, like, bro, like, what is this function? Like, what is this function, man? Like, are you seeing yourself? Why would you have a function like this? And again, like, you know, it's not even, whenever I say stuff like this, some people also think that, like, templates are difficult and people can't understand them. This is perfectly, you can understand this. It doesn't take a genius to read this, even if you're not comfortable with templates, right? But, like, it's just like, dude, this is just ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous because it also, you can see the discussion these two clowns are having here as well, because it requires this much discussion. Whereas had someone just written, like, maybe a few different functions for each variable type, not only would it be really clear what type you're dealing with because it would be in the function name, it would also be just so much easier to debug, and it's just not a problem, right? Like, again, templates are fine. You know, there have been good template suggestions, such as having, you know, an all components component group and then, you know, being able to kind of go through all components this way. And even though that's a variadic template and that might be complicated in a way and a bit harder to debug, I agree that it's a much better solution than actually having, like, you know, what we had before, which was every template, every component type would have to be explicitly called every time you want to, like, copy all components from an entity or whatever, because that is actually error prone. And obviously if you add a new component, you suddenly have to make sure in 20 different places in the engine, if not more, that you haven't forgotten about it. So, but yeah, this stuff is absolutely unreal. So again, I'm not touching this at all. Like, this is that's it. How many episodes do you guys think of this new game engine series are we going to get through before the community turns on me? That's the real question. Tim, how many do you think? How many do you give it?
So how many were in this discussion? Because that's already 2.
Oh, people.
That's 2 people, right?
Yeah, 2.
So I guess like 1,000. That would be 2,000.
I'm talking about how many episodes.
Yeah, 1,000.
Yeah. 1,000 episodes.
1,000 episodes, 2,000 people. You do go like this, right? So
Oh,
40,000 people watching this.
I
1,000
see.
episodes, nobody is watching.
Okay.
As long as you're not generating.
Why are people saying the music's so loud? Is it really that loud? I made it quieter. Alright, whatever. I saved my roast by closing my pull request myself, says Baked Lobster. That's probably smart. That's better. Okay, I made the music quieter, yeah. Anyway. Line feature. I created a line feature using triangles instead of GL lines, as OpenGL lines have very limited capabilities. That's true. You can also change the end caps of the line to be pointy rounded. I tested under MSAA and the results very smooth even for the very thick lines. So this sounds nice. But unfortunately this is going to be very obsolete, I think. Well, it might not be obsolete. I'm saying it might be obsolete just because we're going to switch to Vulkan, but so far this is not OpenGL specific. Yeah, this actually might be something. Yeah, and you can see that obviously this is still in the renderer 2D kind of draw line. This is still probably in that sandbox project that we had in like 2019 or something. Like, when is this? 2020. This I'm going to actually keep open because I think I might revisit this. This is probably a good thing. Our music stopped. I should go home. It's getting late. I'll finish this stream soon. Yeah, no, I think honestly that didn't even really affect OpenGL at all. Like, that was mostly that's just a generic rendering feature, so it's okay. Handling non-QWERTY keyboards with GLFW. Oh my goodness, like I'd never even considered that. Yeah, like AZERTY or like Dvorak. Well, actually AZERTY isn't AZERTY. No, well, QWERTY. There's also QWERTZ, right? I know German keyboards have Z and Y in different places as well, right? I remember that from back when I lived in Germany. But yeah, there's also, like, I guess Dvorak and all this stuff. So what does that mean? We check if the current key is a letter. If so, we adapt to the keyboard layout. The key code, the event. What the heck, man? Why are there different keyboard layouts? I tried it with non-US keyboards. Works just fine. I think we should make it a little cleaner. The plan is to make the key code cross-keyboard, if necessary, and immediately after we receive the key event from GLFW. So we don't have to do it for each key handling function. I made some changes based on your solution in this fork. Tell me what you think about it. Thanks. Well, there's like 3 upvotes. Who's following this? Who is this for different, like? And it's an issue as well. For foreign keyboard management. Well, this is a bit different. Foreign keyboards are fine. Currently Hazel only works with, yeah, okay. It means so why though? Why is it incorrect for that? Is it because it's using like It's too late in the evening for this, I think. Let's see what the actual code is. Maybe I'll understand that more. Get cross layout key. Okay, input get cross layout key, and here's the implementation, I guess. Key name, GLW get key name, key from the key code, GLW get key scan code. Check if the key is concerned by keyboard's layout. Okay. That doesn't make sense. If key. This is the problem when you're like trying to like deal with people who are using foreign keyboards. Like the problem is they obviously well, not obviously, but potentially they don't even speak English that well, and so therefore it becomes just like a difficult situation to work with in general. Okay, so we try and see if the key we've requested is in fact an alphanumerical key, or specifically is this going to be? Oh, it's a key code, so it can't be capital either. So it's not the character code; it's the actual key. If it's between A and Z, which again, how is this even going to work? Because what if it's a letter that's not on? What if it's a letter that's not an ASCII character? How does that work? Like if you've got an O, like umlaut or something, on a German keyboard, or if you've got like on a Russian keyboard, you've got like, well, any of the Russian like letters. How is that gonna? That's not gonna work with this key. Tim, do you reckon we could get like a Russian keyboard? Could you hook me up?
Like a proper Russian keyboard?
Well, I don't know. I guess so. Like, how does that work?
Of a Russian keyboard.
You've never heard of a Russian?
The old version.
Really?
They just use a normal one with like Russian letters stuck on.
I guess that's true. Tim's saying they're all virtual. No, but the reason why I'm asking is because I know that, like, I'm pretty sure the keyboards that I remember having, like, in Germany, they literally had extra stuff.
They just use some of this extra stuff.
No, but
Some of these, like, side letters.
Cyrillic keyboards. Well, let's look it up. Stream, do you guys know anything?
Do you guys know anything?
Yeah, weigh in. Well, yeah, that's a normal keyboard, I think. They're just obviously taking over the like the apostrophes and the semicolons. The semicolon's just a j. And then the square brackets are here. So that's kind of fine. I guess you're right. So it's the same story with the umlauts. They're just in the thing. They're just in here. But are there any like non-US layouts? Like, because this is like the US keyboard layout, right? Keyboard layouts. Oh no, my eyes. Dark mode does not save me. Does Wikipedia officially have a dark mode yet? Because it should. Maybe then I'll donate to them when they get a dark mode. All right. Anyway, so this is really hurting my eyes. Aha. Okay. Good. So this is what they were talking about, right? So there's QWERTY, then there's this, and then there's EWERTY, then there's QWERTZ. Azerty. Xerty. But these aren't really different keyboard layouts, are they? Like, they're just like, aren't they just things in the different, like, it's not like there's a different amount of keys, right?
Yeah, you know what I have a feeling it is? Because everybody plays ASDF.
Well, yeah.
ASD.
WASD.
But not being like, hey, is this the A key? Because that's going to be different, right? Depending on what keyboard it is. I have a feeling that's what that's trying to tackle, isn't it?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, Tim's saying that it's to do with like certain. So if you like request the A key, what key do you really want? Because obviously, if you have like if you build like an FPS and you have WASD is like coded as your things. I do have Dark Reader, I think, extension on, but I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, we don't need to look at that anymore. If you obviously have WASD mapped as like, you know, in your game, you've released your game WASD, then what happens if that A key is in a different place for someone else? But the thing is, Yeah, like that is a bit different. Yeah, no, I know. Dvorak is also not different. Dvorak is just on the same keyboard, but the letters are in different places, right? What I was concerned with is if there was actually like a keyboard somewhere in the world that actually has a different set of keys. So you know what I mean? Like, as in, maybe it's only, I don't know, well, not only got 2 rows, but maybe there are literally extra key codes, like extra stuff, you know? Dvorak is just like a different layout, as in the keys are in different places. But yeah, like that's also, I guess, a valid thing, right? Like the fact that obviously if I am like, is key pressed P, then obviously if I'm on a Dvorak keyboard layout, then should Hazel be like, yes, that is this key, which is obviously an R, but someone has decided to be super cool and gone with Dvorak for some reason. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's something that Hazel should care about. Like, shouldn't OS translate those key presses anyway? It depends. See, the thing is, this also depends if you're typing text or not, because there are obviously character inputs, like there are char callbacks, and then there are also actual scan codes and stuff, you know? Don't mock Dvorak. Oh, I will mock Dvorak. I'll mock all of these layouts because I'm sorry, like it's going too far. Like that, you know what I think it is? Like aside from possibly scientists and people who maybe actually get benefits from it or for whatever reason, and like stenographers or whatever they're called, I feel like the people who like learn Dvorak or like all those other layouts are just people who like it. That is, to me, that is textbook procrastination. Like I could see myself having like an assignment due at the end of the week, and then I'm like, I just can't do this fast enough. Let me just quickly learn Dvorak because then I'll be sweet for the assignment. You know what I'm saying, stream? Because I feel like I've done that before, but not like not with Dvorak or anything like that. But I feel like I've been like, yeah, you know what? Like I could get all this work done, but let me first just do this other huge thing to prepare for doing the work that will help me do the work. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. This whole non-QWERTY keyboards and foreign stuff. Like I honestly don't know how I would even kind of handle that. But yeah, that's gonna be something that we probably do another time because I'm gonna end the stream here. There's Dust keyboard with no labels at all. Yeah, I've got one of those at home. It's annoyingly my Dust keyboard, so I used that. I've got a Dust keyboard like 3, I think it is, with the ultimate version with no glyphs on it or anything. And I used to use that quite a bit for programming. Now I'm using a Corsair one. But anyway, so what I did with the Dust keyboard was it's on like our coffee table at home. And so the funny thing is my wife is super annoyed with it because she like is not a programmer, so she doesn't know where like all the keys are. So like every now and then she's trying to like log in to like because it's connected to like the media computer we have like by the TV. So it's on our coffee table, and she's like trying to like log in to the thing. And it's funny because sometimes I get like text messages from her being like, where's the like, you know, where's a certain key? And I'm like, in my head, I forget that there's no text on the keyboard. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, open your eyes, like just find it on the, why are you messaging me? Why do you want me to point you to like where the enter key is or something? Just look at it, look at the keyboard. And then I'm like, oh, oh, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, good times. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the stream. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I will see you, I guess, the same time next week for the next session of the Game Engine series. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.